High School, the site tonight for the District 11 3A girls semifinals, a double dip with Southern Lehigh and Blue Mountain to follow. Al DiCarlo, Tracy Sear, our D11sports.com game of the week, presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine. And Tracy, interesting matchup between two teams. One is winning a lot, the other one is just getting in, Notre Dame and Northern Lehigh.
Yeah, I mean, today's game is a game that they played each other back on January 23rd, and Notre Dame won it very handily. So, it's a long time since then, and hopefully Northern Lehigh can figure out a way to stop some players inside.
Well, let's talk about Josh Kopp, Northern Lehigh, and Ken Shankweiler. He knows his team is the underdog in this one, but Emma Niebel has to really play well tonight.
Well, Emma's their best offensive player. She's got 43 three-pointers on the season, and she handles the ball for them, controls the offense, and she makes a lot of things go up for them scoring-wise on the offensive end.
When you look at Josh Kopp and what he's done with his team, is 23-1, their only loss, coming to Trinity. He's doing a great job in his 16th year, defending champs. Cassie Murphy, really going to be tough down low.
Yeah, I mean, she's tough for anybody to try to handle, just her size and her ability to finish on both sides of the basket. So, she was Coordinated Health Player of the Week this week. She scored 25 points last time these two teams met up. So, for them, that's the key. They really have to try to shut her down and hold her under her average.
Well, we'll see what happens here. D11sports.com game of the week, presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine. Coming your way next. We'll be right back.
St. Luke's Orthopedic Care. Extraordinary care in motion.
Are you searching for a place where you belong? Where your fitness matters? Regardless of what shape you're in, St. Luke's Fitness and Sports Performance Centers have a professional team that will help you meet or exceed your fitness goals. With locations throughout the region and nationally recognized fitness experts, you'll become a member of a supportive fitness community. We call it Extraordinary Fitness. Visit us online to start your free 7-day membership and let us help you thrive. Concussions are serious. 3 million sport, recreation, and auto accident-related concussions happen each year. 20% of high school athletes who play contact sports will suffer a concussion during the season. St. Luke's is the region's leader in assessing, managing, and treating concussions in athletes and non-athletes of all ages. Our multi-specialty teams of experts collaborate to care for you using the latest treatment options. Don't play head games, take concussion seriously. Call St. Luke's to schedule an appointment with one of our concussion experts.
Hall of Fame pitcher Steve Carlton knows what it takes to exceed expectations. He knows what it means to be part of a team that rises above the competition. He knows a champion. Steve Carlton knows St. Luke's Orthopedic Care.
We are back here at Northampton High School. Al DiCarlo alongside Tracy Sear. Game 1 of 2. Notre Dame take Northern Lehigh. The winner not only goes to the district championship, but also qualifies for the PIAA tournament, as two teams will qualify. And the other half of the tournament, by the way, is Palmerton, number 3 seed, and North Schuylkill, the number 2 seed. So it'll be interesting what happens here, not only in this game, but those teams, the other team moving forward to see who's going to move forward. 18-0, 23-1. Lone loss, as mentioned, for Notre Dame was to Trinity. For the Northern Lehigh Bulldogs, 7-10, 10-12 overall, as they made their way into the tournament. We talked about this a little bit before, Trace. 20-0 to start. Things have to change a little bit more when you get going here. At this time, would you please rise? You hold that thought, and we'll pause and honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
St. Luke's Orthopedic Care. Extraordinary care in motion.
Are you searching for a place where you belong? Where your fitness matters? Regardless of what shape you're in, St. Luke's Fitness and Sports Performance Centers have a professional team that will help you meet or exceed your fitness goals. With locations throughout the region and nationally recognized fitness experts, you'll become a member of a supportive fitness community. We call it Extraordinary Fitness. Visit us online to start your free 7-day membership and let us help you thrive.
We are back here as we get ready for the matchup between these two teams, and also pleased to be joined by Elijah Rivera. Elijah, a junior at Notre Dame Green Pond. He has talked to both coaches, and we go to Elijah with his first report. Elijah?
At the Notre Dame and Northern Lehigh game, and me and Al had a chance to talk to the coaches, and Coach Cobb out of Notre Dame told me that their game plan is not going to change. It's going to be the same thing as last game. They're going to play ball, and their girls are very prepared. For the Northern Lehigh side, they plan to stay in man, limit their turnovers, and just keep the turnovers limited. Back to you, Al.
All right, Elijah, thanks a lot. Elijah, again, a junior at Notre Dame Green Pond. He's been with us for a couple times on the sidelines. And as far as the game is concerned, this is one of those games that if your coach, Ken Shankweiler, Tracy, you don't want it to get out of hand real quick. And, he's had 3 weeks really to, get ready for this game.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the game itself goes, Northern Lehigh's got to make sure they take care of the ball, like they said, eliminate turnovers. And the best way to do that is to be patient, both on the offensive end, of the court and against the pressure, especially because Notre Dame's going to come full court pressure, and you got to make sure you're handling the pressure by handling the ball. The other thing is, if they keep the ball on their offensive end and able to work the clock a little bit, they're going to have less of an opportunity to give Notre Dame to score on their end. So if they can handle the ball, handle the pressure, they'll be in good shape.
Well, with that, let's take a look at the starting five as they'll go with Kaylee Wilk, Sophia Lear, Lauren Hoffman, Madison Sire, and Emma Niebel, the starting five. And for Notre Dame, they'll go with Grace Madai, Sydney DeFranco, Reagan Cooper, Antonia Bates, and obviously down low is Cassie Murphy. You got Bates and Murphy, the two dynamic players, 22 and 33. Bates, only a sophomore, but she comes in. Everyone's looking at her already as a Division I prospect. Your thoughts of her as a player?
She's very well-rounded player. She handles the ball. She's got such great length. She can shoot the three. In their league championship game, she really had a great third quarter and really brought them back and to take charge of the game itself. So she's got a lot of potential, and but as you well know, you got to continue to work hard and continue to get better from year to year, which most of the Division I prospects do.
Let's take a look at the keys of the game for these two teams. We begin with Ken Shankweiler in his fourth year. Obviously, a key one is limit turnovers. He said he had, I believe, 10 in the first quarter the first time around.
Yeah, definitely have to eliminate his turnovers. And, the other thing is with Notre Dame, the problem is they have three-point shooters. So, you got to be able to defend those as well.
Yeah, for Notre Dame, defensive pressure, generate the offense, and to play inside out. I think when you're talking about the three-point shooter, the one player you're talking about is Reagan Cooper. When you start collapsing down low on Murphy, Cooper's got 59 three-pointers. She could be huge in this game.
Yes, Cooper hits the three, but also Madej could hit the three. You have Bates who could hit the three. DeFranco could hit the three.
Can you hit the three?
Not as good as these girls can, I'll tell you. After 2 shoulder surgeries.
Al DiCarlo, Tracy Sear, get ready. The winner again gets either Palmerton or North Schuylkill in the championship on Friday night. Opening tip from Northampton. Game 2 will be a boys' game between Southern Lehigh and Blue Mountain. Underway as Notre Dame will go from right to left.
And as you can see, Northern Lehigh did come out in their man-to-man defense like they said they would.
Again, 33 just posting down and trying to see if she can get position. I think she does it early on. They collapse 3. That would leave open player and a quick foul.
Yeah, she's just a tough matchup for any team. Her height, her size, her strength. It's really going to be difficult for them to try to prevent her from getting the ball.
So quickly to the line. She's at 75%, 79 of 106 coming in. Tracy, in the first meeting, they won 54-26. He's taking a look down low for her. She scored 25 points Notre Lehigh as a team scored 26. So it shows how dominating she was in the first meeting.
Yeah, and here comes their full court pressure, their full court man-to-man pressure right here.
So just underway from Northampton High School. Good job of getting it over the line here for Northern Lehigh. Over to Lear, and they'll set up the offense.
This is Nubel with the ball. Again, running the show for their team.
Try and go down underneath. They'll reset here on the offense in the opening minute. That one just taken right away. Good job by the defense, and Sydney DeFranco comes out of that.
And here I thought she was going to pull up the three.
I'm with you there. There's going to be a lot of open space if you're Notre Dame, the way they're going to play the defense.
Coach Shankweiler really wants to try to push Murphy out of the paint, out of her comfort zone. But it's really, like I said, it's a tough ask.
So she misses 2 shots there. So if you get her, first of all, and she doesn't make it, you cannot have her have the rebound.
Definitely have to box out. I mean, I would try to front her as much as possible and have weak side help, but it's really tough. It's really tough on a court like this. At Northampton High School, it's very, 94 feet long, and it's wide court, unlike Notre Dame High School's gym where it's a smaller court. There's a replay. And the inbound, Murphy gets it, goes up strong, uses her left hand, the left side of the court, gets the foul, and 1.
Misses the free throw, 4-0 here, Notre Dame. Again, first meeting was 20-0 to start things off in quarter number 1.
And again, full court pressure.
And like anything, when we talk to Josh Kopp, you can't look ahead. We like to look ahead. When you're on the outside looking in, you look ahead. But, if you win this game, you're going to the district championship. It's a turnover. But you're going into states, and you can get yourself ready. But at the same time, that all said, you put yourself in a position where, if you leave a team in the mix, anything is possible to happen. That's something that he wants to avoid, and he talked about that with us when we talked to him.
Yeah, he's as a coach, you have to just take it one game at a time. You can't look ahead. You got to get your kids focused on every team in front of you, just like, whether you've beaten them by 20 or whether you've beaten them by 2, you got to make sure you're ready to play. And, Notre Dame's coming out strong here, ready to play. Again, Murphy with another rebound.
No, you're going to see number 33 hold the ball or get the ball in her hands, maybe 85% of this game. 4-0, 5:40 on the clock, opening quarter of play from Northampton High School in the 3A girls semifinals. Again, 10-day rest for Notre Dame after winning the championship of the Colonial League. And
you talk about rest. I mean, Northern Lehigh hasn't played since February 4th. So
that's a rest.
So they're really getting the rust off right now and getting into a game situation.
So that shot from the outside didn't go for Bates. Bates has 32 three-pointers on the year, and she was way outside looking to shoot that 3.
Again, look at have the post low.
How about that?
DeFranco.
15 three-pointer of the year. DeFranco was trying to go underneath.
Notre Dame's got such a nice team and balanced attack. They have the outside threat. They have the posts inside. They're a really tough matchup for most teams.
3 minutes in, 7-0, looking for their first.
Nice backdoor cut.
Everything but the basket there by Wilk. Looking at a wide open look at a 3. That one's going to be short. And Northern Lehigh will get the basketball back.
Here's the out-of-bounds play to DeFranco. She looks, pulls back, buries a 3.
How about that by DeFranco? She's like, all right, I'm going to go inside. No, not there. And she just let up and fired it home.
And here you got almost 3 people pressuring the ball coming up the court here. Someone's going to be open.
Tracy, this time of year when you get in those scrimmages and you're playing the scrimmages, how much do they help? Especially, you don't want to get that rust, but, you're not going full steam ahead, but you're getting scrimmages enough to keep you active here for 3 weeks, really.
Well, it's important because, if you're going up against your second team all all 3 weeks long, it really gets boring for you. They kind of know what your offense is. They know what you're going to do. So this way it gives you a chance to compete against people that don't know your offenses, or if you put something new in, you can work on that as well. It's important. I think it's also much more fun for the athletes themselves to be able to compete against other people.
Driving through, that one knocked away. Good job by Bates. Leads to a transition opportunity here for Notre Dame. Back to Bates. Inside 4, Bates straight up and gets the roll.
It's a nice take to the basket. She made a little jab step and then drove right hand to the basket.
So timeout comes with 3:51 on the clock, and almost similar to the first meeting, quickly. As we take a look at the block on one side, leading to a basket on the other side.
And Bates blocked that shot. She comes down. Franco passes off to her. Ball fake and drive. And a nice finish down the middle. It's 9-0 to start the game here. Last time it was 20-0. Took a timeout. Hope to stop the bleeding.
Good look at Tommy Kramer. I said, "Are you following us?" He goes, "I don't know if we're following you or or we're following him." I said, "Where are you tomorrow?" I think he said Messiah. I said, "All right, we're not there." Looking to inbound. That one taken away quickly over to Bates. Bates no-look pass, and that one a little bit too hard off the window by Reagan Cooper. Bates comes into the game averaging almost 4.5 assists a game. That one taken right back. So turnover is starting to pile up, and straight to the glass too hard. 4th rebound of the game, and the putback for Murphy.
And as you can see, Murphy, not only does she rebound well, but she can use both hands. So, she rebounds on the left side of the basket, puts it up strong with her left hand. I love to see that when kids can use both hands on the opposite sides of the basket.
The side of the shots on the interior twice. They have not had a look from the outside yet.
Here's Murphy with the rebound and left-handed putback. Tries to split the defense there. That was nice. Here's Nebel with the ball.
Down to 3 minutes on the clock, 11-0. Northern Lehigh looking for their first basket of the night. Trying to get some patience. Nebel.
Another turnover.
Attack from both sides, and
the walk.
they'll call a traveling call on Bates. 4th turnover here in the early going.
Northern Lehigh's really got to work to get more shot attempts. They have more turnovers now than shot attempts in the game, and they really have to look to try to create something on the offensive end.
And when you're playing a team that's 23-1, that does not help you. And Nebel comes in as a sophomore with 43 three-pointers.
That was nice. Fake the handoff, but again, there's Murphy standing inside waiting for you to come.
25th block. Excuse me, for Murphy.
There's Murphy working inside. There she is.
Clears traffic and scores 2 more. Murphy's got 8. So 13-0, 2:07 on the clock. Murphy with 8, 2 points for Bates, and 3 for DeFranco on the triple.
Here's another nice feed from Cooper down to Murphy. Murphy with the finish. She makes it look so easy.
Another steal, another turnover.
DeFranco, nice move. Blocked out of bounds.
Nebel had that block shot. Quickly to Madej. Now Bates drives through off the glass. No, rebound. Into the hands of Madison Sire. And here come the Bulldogs. 1:50 on the clock. Driving straight through the lane.
And one. Nice finish. Strong move.
You're going to take that if you're Nebel. She had to change hands in the process. And when you have Cassie Murphy just towering over you.
She gets the ball, penetrates down the middle of the lane. She's going strong with her right hand, finishes. And one. High off the glass. Gets the little bounce. See if she can finish this 3-point play.
70% from the free throw line, does not. 13-2. And that one turned over.
Oh.
Man, stepping out
Nice
of bounds.
hustle. Good hustle. It's a great hustle play by Lear. And Coach Shankweiler spoke about working on a matchup zone. You almost think maybe they ought to try something when Murphy's back in there.
They go backdoor, an easy basket by Madej.
They have so many weapons, Notre Dame. Being patient, bringing it up the floor. Backcourt violation. Here's Madej with the backdoor cut. A great look inside and a good finish.
1:15 on the clock, all Notre Dame, as many expected in this contest.
Nice drive.
So Bates has missed the last 2 baskets down underneath, and she's had some opportunity. 2 players go colliding at midcourt. And now inside a minute, trying to regroup the offense.
Nice entrance pass, reset. Trying to look down low for Nebel.
So Anna Miklos with that reach gets assessed with the foul.
There's 39 seconds left, so now Northern Lehigh's ball into the basket here. Hopefully they can get a quick 2 here. Try to put a little dent in this lead.
Trying to attack the interior again, get a look at a 3. This will count if it goes through. It does not. Now 30 seconds, you leave Notre Dame with plenty of opportunity to add to their lead, up 15-2. Down to 13 seconds. Here's Bates. Bates eyes up at 3 and buries it. So
Great
she's
shot
got 5.
by Bates.
Well, first time around 20-0. This time around 18-2. Your score after 1 quarter of play. As you take a look at the final play by Bates as she drives home the triple. We'll come back with more action from Northampton High School. You're watching our D11Sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke. 23.
It's a nice pass. Oh. That's a tough one.
Yeah, you're finally getting something underneath, and then it gets taken away from you. And then wholesale changes here for Notre Dame. So utilize their bench a little bit here, leading by a score of 25-2.
Northern Lehigh is about to inbound the ball here. She's looking, and timeout taken by the coach. Almost a 5-second violation.
Ken Shankweiler takes the timeout here, 25-2, gives us a break. And Tracy, obviously have a big event coming up, in a couple weeks. With the clinic. Talk about the clinic and what you've been doing. Obviously, I know St. Luke's is involved in that as well.
Yeah, via the Lehigh Valley. This is the time of year where we host our VIA Senior All-Star Classic. March 25th, we host the clinic. That's a Hall of Fame St. Luke's Combine Clinic, and it's really for any athletes, boys or girls, grades 3 through 10th grade. It's March 15th, and it's held at Freedom High School from 11 till 2. You can register for that at vianet.org, which is via Lehigh Valley's website. It's $20 per kid to come, and it's a great opportunity for them to be coached by Hall of Fame members like myself. Doug Snyder's always there, the Allen basketball coach. We have Donna Kennedy, who's there every year for us. We have a lot of high school coaches. Jose Medina is actually the Bethlehem Catholic girls coach, is actually the person that is directing the clinic this year. So it's a great opportunity if the kids come out, run through our clinic, do the drills that we do, full court drills and stations and such. And then they also get, St. Luke's is there with their sports performance people, and they, measure them in vertical, 50 or 40-yard dash, shuttle runs, and time the kids and give them the opportunity to see how much they've changed from year to year. We get a lot of kids that come back from year to year.
See how good they're doing, see if their speed and their agility is good, and yeah, it's a great job. When do they have to register by?
We'll actually take walk-ins the day of. So, but for us to be able to make sure we have enough coaches on staff, we ask you to register in advance.
As you talk about that, Murphy scores 2 more. She's in double digits. 27-2. Tracy, you always say, games are not played on paper, they're played on the court. But, you see what happened in the first game, and everyone expected the same concept, and it's going that way. If you're Josh Kopp, the one thing you can not avoid is, something that, you got to play your game. Don't worry about who you're playing. Don't matter what your score was beforehand. I know you've been in games like this before, but you got to keep your team up regardless.
Yeah, I always try to challenge my team to not allow the other opponent to score, X amount of points in a game. Whether you're winning, it doesn't matter how much we scored, how much we're winning by. I want to make sure that, no, they're not going to score more than, 23 points in the game or whatever it is I set for them at halftime. Usually is what I would do is set a goal for them.
Well, there's a basket by Kaylee Wilk.
And it also gives Coach Kopp an opportunity to play his whole bench. As this game goes on, he'll be able to get those kids that have been practicing day in and day out some time now, because as the season progresses and the games get more difficult and challenging, those kids probably won't get court time. So it's always nice to get to reward those players.
27-4 here with 2:38 left in the first half. That three won't go by Cooper. I believe that's the first attempt at a three tonight, and then stolen away again and scored. And DeFranco.
Nice steal and finish. Northern Lehigh did a great job getting the rebound over Murphy, and then they throw it away, and they really got to take care of the ball. That's what it comes down to. But again, this is a very young team, Northern Lehigh. Their leading scorers are sophomore. They really have a lot of a bright future, I think.
Here's Bates after the block. Comes right back on the steal. I thought she lost her footing in there, and she still goes in and scores 2.
It's a nice play. Good penetration. Lifted off the glass. Another turnover. Here's Bates taking it to the rim. She got tripped up. No call. Still able to get it off and finish.
So that's the 8th turnover of the first half, and those 8 turnovers, maybe 7, have led to baskets. And you're talking anywhere from 14 to 18 points off turnovers.
Yeah, they just needed to be better with the ball. Is really, and look at that, boom.
That one gets knocked away by Heasel. Again, just the pressure. Down to 1:13 on the clock.
Another steal.
Again, you don't look ahead to the next game, but right now, unless something dramatic happens, they're going to be moving on to the championship to defend their title. Then you start realizing it's going to be much harder in that championship game than it is here tonight. Again, we could talk about that a little bit later in the third quarter, but we're looking in that direction. That one rims out, doesn't drop for Morgan Hoffner.
Notre Dame with another rebound. They're not even getting second attempts on the offensive end for Northern Lehigh, so it's a nice kick back out. Play wasn't there. Bates going to set the offense.
(31-4), 19 seconds on the clock.
Notre Dame's working for one shot. Here goes Madej.
3 seconds on the clock.
Bates.
Do they get one off? Bates goes baseline and doesn't drop it. So 31-4 after 1/2 of play, all Notre Dame. And we'll take a break and be back with more action.
Here's where the turnover occurs. anticipate it well by DeFranco and finish.
Man, DeFranco played well. So it's 31-4. We'll come back with more action. You're watching our D11Sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine. Back after this.
Concussions are serious. 3 million sport, recreation, and auto accident-related concussions happen each year. 20% of high school athletes who play contact sports will suffer a concussion during the season. St. Luke's is the region's leader in assessing, managing, and treating concussions in athletes and non-athletes of all ages. Our multi-specialty teams of experts collaborate to care for you using the latest treatment options. Don't play head games, take concussion seriously. Call St. Luke's to schedule an appointment with one of our concussion experts.
Hall of Fame pitcher Steve Carlton knows what it takes to exceed expectations. He knows what it means to be part of a team that rises above the competition. He knows a champion. Steve Carlton knows St. Luke's Orthopedic Care.
St. Luke's Orthopedic Care. Extraordinary care in motion.
It is halftime. 31-4 is your score. Al DiCarlo, Tracy Sear, Elijah Rivera, one of our D11 Sports reporters, in the house as well. And this has been all in favor of Notre Dame. 7 points for Madej, 5 points for DeFranco, 7 points for Bates, 2 points for Altmaier, and Murphy has 10 to lead the way. Just 4 points we mentioned for the Bulldogs. Wilk with 2, and Niebel also with 2. Well, it gives us an opportunity to talk about Tracy, and being that you coach this team. And it's funny. You walk into this gym, and the game manager, Sean Murray is the athletic director here. We want to thank him for his hospitality. And the game manager at the same time is Dave Troxel. So you've had many games with Dave Troxel as well. Back in when he was making runs, you guys were making runs. Take us back to the day.
Well, Dave Troxel was the coach at Catasauqua High School for the girls when I was coaching at Notre Dame High School back in the 90s. We had some really strong and competitive seasons where he's had some great players and I had some great players, and we were always going back and forth on who was going to win the league title. So,
if you remember, is there one game you remember between the two of you? Is there one that just jumps out? And I don't put you on the spot, but I don't know if you won or lost. But
the one regular season game that there was actually two. One we played in a tournament here at Northampton, which is what I thought about and what Dave mentioned. They actually beat me at on a buzzer shot that was, basically a 5-point play. It was an illegal screen. It was a total moving screen by Tara Rimmel, and they called a foul on my kid trying to run through the screen, and the girl that shot the ball hit the 3, and then they gave him the 3 plus the 2 shots, and we ended up losing the game. And, I still haven't lived that down. And the official that made the call knows who she is.
And we'll keep it out there. For you, Josh, past your record for wins, you were so successful. When you see that happen, is that irk you a little bit? Are you happy for it?
No,
how's that? I mean, you guys talked before. There's no arm wrestling, nothing.
No,
you guys were good.
Josh and I have been friends for a long time. Actually, Josh was a student at Notre Dame playing on the boys team when I was coaching. And then he was a freshman boys basketball coach. And then when I made the announcement in 2001 that I was no longer going to be coaching, that was going to be my last year. I was pregnant with my 3rd child at that time. Josh came to me and said, "Hey, should I apply for the job?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll back you," because he did such a nice job. I watched him many times coach the freshman boys, and they ended up giving the job to Nat Amato, which he took for 3 years. But then after Nat and Bill Lancic left to go to become the
Pally Dogs?
No, they went to be the coaches at Bethlehem Kappa.
Becca, yes.
And then they switched roles. Josh was, stepped into the position. So he's done such a great job. I'm really proud of him. In fact, I texted him after I saw it. I didn't even know about it, to be honest with you, because, my son's playing on the boys team, and I wasn't at many girls games, but I got the article sent to me by somebody. And, I reached out to him and said, hey, congratulations. I mean, listen, records are made to be broken.
Absolutely.
And, I just wish all the success, to him and the Notre Dame program.
Yeah, he's doing a great job right now. He has 274 wins and 138 losses. Right now, well on his way to win number 275. That says a lot. I know his dad, Mike, is in the house, watching his son, and that's always a good thing. And Mike has just a couple extra wins than Josh, just a couple. As he's up to 1,000. So, scoring or shooting anyway, Northern Lehigh, 2 of 12, 0 for 4 from behind the arc, and just 0 for 1 from the free throw line. Notre Dame is 11 of 26 shooting, 3 of 8 from behind the arc, and 2 of 4 from the free throw line. Right now is 31-4. Again, the winner of this game gets either Palmerton or North Schuylkill. And if we get an update on that, we'll give you a score on that one. When you look at Notre Dame and their scoring, I have a sheet in front of me, and some of these players, obviously. As you look at this list, and you've seen probably the majority of them play, I would think, who's the best player or the best or a couple players to come out of Notre Dame?
So you have the list of all the athletes at Notre Dame. I mean, Julia Amato is by far the best, in my mind, the best player. She graduated in '95. She was a 2,000 point scorer. She scored 2,136 points playing for me in high school. And she could do it from anywhere on the floor. I mean, I started her as a 4 because nobody could stop her down low, and she was only 5'8", 5'9". It wasn't like she was big. She was just strong. She could out-rebound you, and she just could score. But, yeah, if I needed her to play point guard, she could play point guard. She went on to play at Brown and played point guard for Brown for 4 years. Now works as a sports psychologist locally in the Lehigh Valley with Elite Mindset is her business and her company. So, she's a sports psychologist. She works with a lot of college and players and NBA players and WNBA players. So she does such a phenomenal job. But she was by far, I'd say, the best player for me that I could say to come out of Notre Dame.
Well, 3:08 left before we go to quarter number 3. It's 31-4. We're at the break. We'll take a quick break, come back with more action from the Pete Snyder Gymnasium as Notre Dame is cruising along up by 27. Back after this.
Are you searching for a place where you belong? Where your fitness matters? Regardless of what shape you're in, St. Luke's Fitness and Sports Performance Centers have a professional team that will help you meet or exceed your fitness goals. With locations throughout the region and nationally recognized fitness experts, you'll become a member of a supportive fitness community. We call it Extraordinary Fitness. Visit us online to start your free 7-day membership and let us help you thrive. Concussions are serious. 3 million sport, recreation, and auto accident-related concussions happen each year. 20% of high school athletes who play contact sports will suffer a concussion during the season. St. Luke's is the region's leader in assessing, managing, and treating concussions in athletes and non-athletes of all ages. Our multi-specialty teams of experts collaborate to care for you using the latest treatment options. Don't play head games, take concussion seriously. Call St. Luke's to schedule an appointment with one of our concussion experts.
Hall of Fame pitcher Steve Carlton knows what it takes to exceed expectations. Orthopedic care.
We are back here. 31-4 is your score. Elijah has talked to both coaches, and here's Elijah.
Elijah Rivera here. It's 31-4. Notre Dame is up. Coach Cobb told me that he likes what he sees out there. Overall, his girls are playing great. Northern Lehigh coach told me that in a positive way, they're stopping the first shots. The second shots is what's killing them, and that's what they have to stop. Back to you, Al.
All right, Elijah, thanks a lot. It's interesting when we have our student reporters there and they get that insight, and that's a perfect thought. They are stopping some of the first shots, and we said it right in the beginning. When Murphy is getting in the third possession of the game, getting 2 rebounds off her miss, that can't happen, but it is.
Well, and when they did stop this, the second, they got a shot, got the rebound, and the next thing you knew, the ball went flying, and it was a turnover. So they really need to take care of their shots when they do get them. When they rebound the ball, they have to be able to handle the pressure.
Well, game number 2 is going to be a boys matchup, and I'll be pleased to be joined in by Bob Schaefer. the Southern Lehigh coach for many years. He's always at games, so it'll be interesting to have his insight after all the many years that he played, and many battles he had actually with Dustin's dad, Bert, and also Dustin. Actually, Dustin won his first district championship in 2007, beating Southern Lehigh. So maybe he won't talk to coach before the game. So we don't know that, but if Northern Lehigh is going to get back in this game, they're going to have to do it awfully quick in the first 2 minutes. It just seems like there's way too many weapons. I mean, you can sugarcoat it all you want. There's way too many weapons here for Notre Dame.
Notre Dame just is bigger across the board and just stronger. Northern Lehigh, though, now look they came out in a 1-3-1, trying to change things up.
Well, that's exactly what Elijah was talking about, that concern to Coach Shankweiler. That's a second chance effort and the roll for Bates. She's got her second 3, and she's got 10 points.
Bates got the roll on that for sure. Here's Notre Dame. Again, they just half-court pressure, man-to-man.
That one knocked away. Northern Lehigh just trying anything just to get some offense going, and just stripped right away, and a good job defensively there by Madej.
A nice look down the court. Del Franco. Well, here's the rebound. Let's see if we can, again, break the pressure. So it's a 30-point game. They definitely need to start hitting some shots if they want to get anywhere near into this. There you go.
That's a nice shot. Yeah. Nebel buries a 3. That's her 44 3-pointer of the season.
It was a nice quick release.
34-7. Down low to Bates.
I think this is the matchup zone that we were talking about. I think in order to make this work, they have to front. Here's the replay on the 3-ball by Nebel. In order to make this defense work for them, they have to front the post. They can't allow her to receive it that easily and just shoot over them. So 13's got to work to get around. Hoffman's got to work to get around.
I thank Josh Kopp and Ken Shankweiler, Brian Geist, Amy Rogers, for all they do, getting us information, getting us the stuff, ready for the broadcast. You don't just show up, Trace. You do a little homework. Well, you're.
Nice backdoor cut again, a nice feed by Bates. Madej again with another backdoor cut. Bates with a beautiful pass.
36-7. Again, the first meeting between these two teams, it was 54-26. I know you said earlier in the first half, you challenge your players. You look at the scoreboard, you say, all right, yeah, we're winning now. Let's put a number on it. I'm sure that's Josh Kopp did as well.
There's another 3-ball.
That one's short by DeFranco.
Madej with the rebound and another attempt. She makes a second.
So DeFranco's got 2 threes.
And again, it's the second shot that Coach Shankweiler was talking about. They can't allow Notre Dame to have second attempts.
3 minutes in, and then pop and out of bounds. How hard is it? First of all, we'll take a look. Off the miss, you get the 3 again.
Madej kicks it right out to DeFranco, and she lines it up and buries it. It's a great play. It's a good hustle. She catches, ready to release.
How hard is it, Tracy, to when come up with like a kind of a blowout win and like this, and to get ready a couple days later for another game? It just you just got to like kind of wipe it clean, and say let's restart.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, tomorrow they'll go into practice. Get some good drills in. Hopefully, bring in some people to scrimmage maybe even tomorrow, to give them something to challenge. Then, day before their game, just run a regular practice, work on shooting.
Third turnover in this half for Northern Lehigh.
Here's the replay. And
That was the old roll by Bates, yeah.
Enough English on that to pull it back down. Bates is having a nice little game for herself. She's got some, aside from the scoring, she's made some really nice passes to kids cutting back door, which is sometimes hard to read.
Nice solid rebound there by Sire. Here comes Northern Lehigh. Midway through quarter number 3. It was 18-2 after 1 and 31-4 at the break in favor of Notre Dame.
And the foul on DeFranco trying to get through the screen there.
Number 10, Anna Nicholas. And number 24, Grace Eagle, report back in for Notre Dame.
Northern Lehigh's got to look to square up more. Some of their players aren't even looking to the rim. They have to look to try to get some shots off. It's the only way they're going to make any time, but you can't score if you don't shoot.
Man, I was just going to ask you that question. I mean, they're positioning themselves outside. You say they're not going in. Should they just start driving? Well, here's Nebel that goes in through. Or is it, shooting from the outside if it's not there, just drive, see if you get at least fouled?
They get, like I said, they're not even looking to the basket. Some of them are catching the ball and looking to see who they're going to pass to next. They really need to start becoming offensive-minded, and sometimes it's hard to convince kids to be that. Here's a replay. Nice backdoor cut. Hoffman hits Nebel running to the basket.
.30 game, 39-9.
Here's the matchup zone again.
That one's short.
Got the rebound.
And Northern Lehigh will bring it up with 3 remaining in the third.
Notre Dame has hands everywhere. They're tipping all kinds of passes tonight. And a nice shot and score by Miklos.
So Anna Miklos, a sophomore guard, on the score board with her first basket.
Here's the replay. Nice tip by DeFranco. She hits the cutter. Hooper hits the cutter. And a nice finish by Milos.
.217 on the clock, 41-9. And this, Trace, this is exactly what you're talking about here.
Yeah, as soon as, Notre Dame's really pressuring up on the ball, so they should try to make an effort to try to get around them. But again, you need to be able to handle the ball strong.
Coach Kopp calls a timeout with 1:52 on the clock. He's got some alternates in there as well. Glad you could join us here for our D11Sports.com Game of the Week, presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine. Al DiCarlo, Tracy Sear with you from Northampton High School. Boys game will follow a little bit later on, and that will be Southern Lehigh and Blue Mountain. They actually met a year ago in the same spot, and they went overtime, won by Southern Lehigh, who eventually lost in the championship to Pottsville. So we expect a good matchup. Saw Blue Mountain earlier this year, saw Southern Lehigh earlier this year, and I think they match up pretty well. And it'd be interesting, how both teams come out here in the nightcap. 6A girls also playing this evening, and of the teams that you saw on the girls' side, I know obviously you follow Southern Lehigh. Southern Lehigh gets in, with an opportunity for them to even move forward, after making it into the tournament.
Yeah, they're playing tomorrow night. But yeah, they barely got in. They got a win, which is really great. I think a big reason they got that win was they have a girl that came back for the game, Steph Schmidt, who had tore her ACL. And that was her first game back. She actually contributed, 7 points, I think it was, off the bench, and which is good for her, to make it back from ACL recovery.
You see that happen, coming back in the season. I think Nazareth also the same way.
Yeah.
They have a player coming back from an ACL injury, and all of a sudden you don't have the player all year, and they give you quality minutes. It's going to be huge here, in the postseason.
Yeah, I mean, Steph is one of the 2 players that tore their ACLs for Southern Lehigh girls, and they were the 2 players that had the most experience coming back off the bench. So, you know, it really hurt Notre Dame, or Southern Lehigh, I'm sorry, this year with losing those 2 girls.
Second teamers in here for the Crusaders with 1:35 left. As good opportunity. I think we talked about this before. Anytime you get a chance to get into a game, it doesn't matter if it's, for a minute, 30 seconds, here, some quality minutes. You're practicing all year, and I think you mentioned this before. You're practicing all year, and you get this as the opportunity to get into a district playoff game.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to reward the kids that, like you said, don't get a lot of time throughout the season. A lot of times they bring up JV players to fill the bench and practice players. So, it's a great experience for them. And then they're not as nervous when they really have to come off the bench and come into a game to actually perform if there's foul trouble or some situation like that.
Down to a minute on the clock, 41-9. Nice feed.
Real nice pass.
Miklos couldn't get that one to go. And Nebel will bring it up. We'll have 6A boys action tomorrow. Those games from Liberty High School. Should be a great atmosphere there with Easton and Northampton and Allen and Freedom.
Like Lear just had the ball out here on the wing. That was a great opportunity for her to look and shoot the 3. Now maybe she's not a 3-point shooter, but she could have taken a couple dribbles in and taken a jump shot for them. They really have to look to take advantage of the opportunities that are given them. If someone's not guarded, they got to step in and take the shot.
Yeah, at this point with the game out of hand, you look for any opportunity to, continue scoring.
And one, no, almost.
So while this game is going on, North Schuylkill and Palmerton also going on, and North Schuylkill, the Schuylkill League champs, of course, Notre Dame, the champs in the Colonial League, are beating Palmerton 36-26 late in the third. So a 10-point game there. And, we talked to Coach Kopp, and he said, Palmerton's very good, North Schuylkill's very good. Obviously, you see the only loss they've had this year.
Here's Sire with her replay here. She's got the inbound. Nice spin off the glass. Just misses it. She's 1 for 1 so far from the line here. Let's see if she gets the second one. No, second one doesn't fall. Jump ball, Notre Dame's ball.
In the beginning of the year, everyone's talking about Jim Thorpe and Jim Thorpe, Tamaqua. Jim Thorpe and Tamaqua, and North Schuylkill is a team that comes out of that, out of the Schuylkill League. So there's some good teams, and I know what's the difference when you watch those Schuylkill League games, and you play against them. Their mentality is totally different. I mean, it's different, and sometimes they catch you really off guard, and sometimes they just give you a whole different kind of scheme.
Well, back in the day, Pine Grove was my nemesis. I mean, they were just so well coached by Coach Wren that was up there, and he's retired now. But they do. They just have North Schuylkill was always really strong back then, and they're just hard-nosed players. They all can shoot. For some reason, they're all great shooters, So it's really hard. You have to play man, and then if they have speed or if they have size, it's really tough matchups for some of our teams. Notre Dame's in a great situation because they have size, but yet they have great guard play, too. So, they're the ones that, are I feel, the favorite in whatever they do because of that.
It's interesting as we look at the Crusaders, and I have a good relationship with Josh, and I always have, and and you look at that loss to Trinity, 41-38. Yeah, any loss, especially when you're going to go undefeated, is going to hurt you. But eventually, unless you're winning the state championship, and you go undefeated, but you can still win a state championship, even with those losses, But you don't want to lose anymore now. That's the time. If you lose during the year, it's one thing, but if you lose now, it's a little bit different.
Well, that's exactly the case. I mean, and good for him to go out and play such strong teams. I know our Southern Lehigh boys team does the same thing. I mean, we play Liberty, we play Freedom, we play Mayes, we play Governor Mifflin. I mean, we go out and play against better competition. I used to do the same thing when I was at Notre Dame. We always played the Liberties, and, we were 1A back then before we moved to 2A. So if I can get any big school to play me, I was ready to play them.
Well, I know Dave Troxel used to always, end up at the end, playing Trinity and Harry DeFrank and those teams there. They were huge games, that time of year. Trinity was his nemesis when it came to, Catasauqua and Trinity.
I mean, I remember playing Trinity one year in the state tournament. Here's a nice replay. And I thought for sure we were the better team, but we were bigger. Well, I found out that speed kills because they had these guards that could just run circles around us, and that's what they did. They just took us right out of our game, and they could just shoot, they could score, they could pressure, and we ended up losing the game. But I'll tell you, there's some really strong programs throughout the state, and it's not as easy as people think to go through and win a state title.
No, we'll see. Bethlehem Catholic did it a year ago on the girls' side, and they're undefeated so far this year. Here, 3 seconds on the clock. Niebel takes it, drives through, and that one doesn't go. 3 quarters in, 1 to play. It's 41-12 in favor of Notre Dame. Back with more action as you take a look at that rebound.
And the steal and the putback.
41-12. Back after this, our D11Sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine.
Hall of Fame pitcher Steve Carlton knows what it takes to exceed expectations. He knows what it means to be part of a team that rises above the competition. He knows a champion. Steve Carlton knows St. Luke's Orthopedic Care.
St. Luke's Orthopedic Care. Extraordinary care in motion.
We are back. 41-12 is your score. Trace through 3 quarters of play. Take us through the good things that you're seeing for a Notre Dame team that's going to be moving on, down the road here.
Well, I mean, Notre Dame's top starters really came out and did a number. I mean, they got their nice lead. They were comfortable. They're now resting on the bench while the bench players are getting a lot of playing time here, and it's great. It's going to add, some confidence to the bench players. It's going to give them opportunity to show coach what they can do, and maybe give them, someone steps up here and starts hitting a couple 3-pointers or starts doing some major scoring. Maybe Josh is going to say, hey, let's throw them in during a closer game.
Again, we mentioned the winner of this gets the winner of North Schuylkill and Palmerton. And North Schuylkill after 3, leading by 12, 40-28. There's a shot from the outside. That one doesn't go. Ball loose. And North Lehigh comes up with it.
But again, there was another rebound and another turnover almost. They were fortunate to get the ball back there without a foul called.
We're in the 4th.
Northern Lehigh is just going to keep running their offense and try to get some points on the board. At least it's a shot attempt. I'd rather have a shot attempt than a turnover. So that at least got a shot attempt there. Notre Dame's going to keep moving the ball against this matchup type zone.
Talk about the positives for Notre Dame, and obviously they have their guns throughout. Here, missing a couple shots and getting 3 chances. What kind of positives can you take for Ken Shankwarler's team? Again, hasn't played in 3 weeks. February 4th, the last time they played. And a team that, going forward, they're very young. We mentioned Lauren Hoffman's the only senior on the team.
Well, like I said to you before, I mean, this is you said, it's a young team. It's a great experience for them playing on the big stage of the district tournament. The game's televised. I mean, it's streamed. It's just a great opportunity for them to get the experience. I mean, they're making mistakes, but I think, there are mistakes that they can learn from and build on for next year.
Now stuck on 12 right now as we're in the 4th.
Yeah, they're just struggling to score. Meanwhile, Notre Dame's doing a nice job of keeping the ball moving, using the clock on this end.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you. I mean, at this point, even though you have your secondary players that you have the opportunity to, see if you can work them in. And you said it before, maybe 1 or 2 of these, down the road, someone gets in foul trouble. You know what? I saw something there. that I could put you in for 30, I could put you in for a minute, and, and get you some opportunity down the road here.
Well, this also gives you an opportunity to work on things, offensively. If you have new plays you put in, some coaches put in new offensive sets for the postseason, and it gives you an opportunity to do that. Now, you're not going to do that with the bench players on the court.
So new players in here for Northern Lehigh. Not sure where the delay was there for a second.
Possession.
Raven Klimek with the basketball. As they move the ball around here with 5 and change remaining. Again, it doesn't matter who's in there for Northern Lehigh, whether it's the first team or the second team. It's been so hard to get through the defense for Notre Dame.
Yeah, Notre Dame plays tough D. He does a great job teaching man-to-man defense, pressure defense.
Off the baseline, Sophia Lear, sophomore guard, off the mark. Again, we mentioned Lauren Hoffman, the only senior. She averaged 6 points and 7 rebounds a game, almost 8. After that, got a bunch of juniors and sophomores and freshmen. Claire Gormley gives that ball up, ball loose underneath.
Nice pass.
Well, that's what you're looking for, a good
nice
look.
Pass to Grimm for the finish.
So Abigail Grimm is on the scoreboard. Our first points of the fourth.
Those are the types of things you'd like to see. There's another block by Grimm.
Yeah, good job here by Grimm. That shot off the mark by Maya Santos.
Body's diving on the ground for the loose ball and the finish.
So Gormley gets her first basket.
Right place, right time sometimes, right?
Yeah.
It's a good hustle play, both teams.
Well, timeout here as we take a look at the loose ball and the bucket. Al DiCarlo, Tracy Sear. Tracy, it's been great having you with us here through the playoffs, and I know you're enjoying it. At the same time, you look at some of these teams. Out of the teams that we've seen this year, what team, maybe this being one of them, what team do you feel that you've seen on the girls' side can make a run towards states?
Well, I definitely think Bethlehem Catholic is probably the best team all around that can make a run. I think Notre Dame has a really good shot to do some good, to go deep too, because I just think they're, like I said, they have size inside, but they also have the 3-point and ball handling skills you need in order to be successful.
Well, we'll see what happens there, and let's talk again. The big clinic with VIA you have coming up here in a couple of weeks. It's right around the corner.
Yeah, like I said, the clinic's March 15th, and again, that's the VIA St. Luke's Combine Clinic, run by Hall of Fame members. Jose Medina will be directing that for us. If you want to register for that, you can go to vianet.org. We also have the banquet coming on the 25th, which is the time when we induct 3 people into the Hall of Fame this year. Anthony Ross, Amy and Rob Thomas from Saucon Valley are going to be inducted. So tickets for that are also available at vianet.org. We honor all the VIA All-Stars. There's 100 VIA All-Stars from all the Lehigh Valley teams, all seniors that'll be represented. The games are on March 28th, so if you want to come out and watch the Senior All-Stars playing their last game, March 28th is the day to do that at Northampton Community College, starting at 10:30 a.m.
Grimm, I believe, with the basket, the last basket there, 47-12. With 3:15 on the clock.
It's a nice feed inside. Again, you have Grimm in there with another tip.
So Notre Dame will get a timeout as we take a look at the last shot here. She just positions herself so far down the floor, exactly where she needs to be.
That's it. And her teammate knew where she was, waiting for it.
Again, we'll wait and see what happens in the North Schuylkill Palmerton game, but obviously a chance for a North Schuylkill Notre Dame matchup in the championship. Boy, that's going to be a good one.
Yeah, 2 league champs going at it.
And that's what you're supposed to see, right?
Right,
Because
yeah.
the way the way, you got 6 classifications, sometimes you don't get that kind of matchup. And, here in the 3A class, you're going to get possibly that matchup, seeing 2, champions going up against each other. So I think that's a good thing. If indeed happens, and we should know that in the next 2 minutes or so. Here, this one's handily, and that one's going down to the wire. Don't know if it'll be done before this game ends.
Notre Dame doing a nice job of keeping the court balanced. It's a nice drive and finish by Polk. See if Northern Lehigh can get a couple more buckets before the end of this game.
49-12.
Another turnover.
Final 2 minutes and 20 seconds. We go through the brackets, and Dave and I, and we look at them and trying to see, who's going where, who's doing what, and where they're going to move on. And, it's interesting because even, obviously the team that's got that better seed, you got to keep them in that area. But you want to match them up with other teams for a doubleheader, and they're trying not to go with those triple headers. But, as we get towards the weekend, the final weekend, you could have, that quadruple header, as a possibility.
Well, with all the brackets, like you said, we've changed from 4 divisions to 6 divisions now. There's just so many more games and more teams getting in. So they gotta try to figure it all out.
Going to jump ball here. I think it's 49-12.
Also number 24, Ayana.
We were talking about leading scorers, and Julia Amato scored 2,136. Katie Kokalis with 1,306. That, for her at one point, Beth Hudak at 1,586.
And Beth Hudak could have been a 2,000-point scorer if she was that type of kid, but she wasn't. She was so unselfish. In fact, the one year she led my team in turnovers, and she was 3 feet from the basket. I said, "Would you stop passing it to everybody else and shoot the ball?"
Man, sometimes I always say, you're not unselfish. Just if it's there, you got to take it. Got to take it. You want to get your other team involved, but at the same time, you're like, where it's at. Good job there. Coach Kopp will get win number 275 today for him, and he's well aware of it. We had a great conversation with him before the game, and does a good job. We were talking about the 1,000 point scores, and obviously right now when you look at.
I coached 7 of those girls.
Is that right? Wow. Well, Emily Sarankowski?
No.
Not one of them?
No, she came to the Tracy Sear basketball game.
Okay, then that's what it's all about. How about Allison?
She did not play for me.
Allison Buss?
Allison Buss, Julia Amato, Katie Kokalis, Beth Hudak, Ann Colton, Mary Beth Beddix, Allison Buss, and Lindsay Brace as well. But I actually left their senior year when they actually scored their thousands, but they played for me for 3 of the 4 years, those girls. So.
All right. So
and then Laura Mazza was my JV coach for many years, who Julie broke her record, which was the all-time scoring record at the time. So some really strong tradition in basketball at Notre Dame, that's for sure.
No question about it. I look at the girls' side, look at the boys' side. I know the boys play tomorrow. Jeff Daly, and probably one of the finest kids that I broadcast the games with. I never forget, and I know we only have 40 seconds left in this game, but never forget Jeff Daly coming in the game that they weren't playing, and we were in Pottsville, and he just tapped me on the shoulder. He goes, "I love what you guys do," and he's just, just a kid that was lost way, way too soon, and I love that they do. The games before in his memory. So 2 threes for Niebel. She now finishes with 45 on the season. Final 22 seconds, and count it there for Brenda Hiesel.
That was nice. Back-to-back shots. Nice pass. And that's a strong take. That was really nice. That was a nice, strong drive to the basket off a feed.
Final 5 seconds.
Sire made a nice drive there.
Oh, you wait till about 5 seconds before they really hit the free throw line. It's amazing.
Nice finish on that. See if she can get one more in there. Nice job.
Second one is good.
They're just holding the ball.
51-17. The Crusaders are moving on with the victory as they win this one handily, and they're headed to the championship game. They're started her off quick, Tracy, going up 18-2 at halftime, 31-4, and from there was just really lights out.
It was. I mean, Notre Dame just came out, took control of the game from the get-go, and never looked back, really.
Well, individual scoring here. Wilk finishes with 2, Sire with 3, 12 points on 2 3-pointers for Nebel. And I know I say it wrong a couple times there tonight. And then for Madej, I'd take a look at Josh Kopp and his team, celebrating there. Madej has a 9, 4 points for Grimm, 8 points for DeFranco, 2 points for Gormley, Miklos with 2, 2 points for Heasel. That's Brenna Heasel. 10 points for Antonia Bates. Emma Altmaier had 2 points. And then Julie Pohl had 2, and Cassie Murphy finishes with 10 points. So she finishes with 10 as well. So, that wraps up the scoring, and obviously for them, an opportunity for them to move on. And likely here get North Schuylkill at the same time. Let's get your thoughts before we talk to Coach Kopp and our player of the game.
Well, I just think that Notre Dame's going to have to really step up their game now when they come up against the North Schuylkill in their league. So I think Murphy did a nice job down low, and she really could have ended this game with 30 points had they played her. So.
Oh, no question about it. And remember, the first time she had 25 points, right? So,
yeah.
That's where she was at that time. And I know Coach Kopp, is standing by here with Elijah Rivera, and Elijah's done a good job all day, and he has our player of the game in Cassie Murphy and also Josh Kopp. And we go to Elijah now with both of them. Elijah?
Rivera here with Cassie Murphy, the player of the game, and Coach Kopp. Coach, what are your thoughts on the game?
I was really pleased how we came out in the first half and set the tone on the defensive end, and I thought we did a really good job taking care of the basketball and really got high percentage looks. And then we challenged our kids at halftime, to make sure that intensity level stayed high, and I was pretty pleased with how we played the entire game overall.
Is it hard keeping your starters happy, like not playing them in the fourth quarter, getting the whole bench in?
I'm not really worried if they're happy or not. Okay, what I worry about is making sure that we stay focused, and everybody has worked hard towards the season that we've had, and if we're in a situation where we can get kids well earned and deserved playing time, then that's something I'll always do. I think our program will be the happiest if we're putting gold medals around their necks on Friday night. So, whether or not they're happy or not during halftime of this game is not really my concern.
Cassie, you played great. What sparked you tonight?
The defensive end. Coach always says if we focus on defense, then our offense just comes to us. So that really, it really pushed us on offense.
Back to you, Al. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Elijah, thanks a lot. Congratulations to Cassie and also to Josh and Tracy. It was great having you here. And, I know you're going to be watching Suddenly I, the boys as well, and getting ready to, see if they can pull off a victory against Blue Mountain.
Definitely. I'm sticking around.
All right, she's sticking around, and we'll be sticking around as well for the nightcap. That'll do it for Aria Bluestein, SFBN, for Dave Micah, for Elijah Rivera, for Tracy Sear. I'm Aldi Carl saying so long. 51-17 Notre Dame improves to 24-1, and best of luck to Lauren Hoffman, the senior, who's moving on. They're moving on to the championship is Notre Dame, and that'll do it for tonight. We'll see you back in a few minutes for game number 2.